Hello and welcome to another Stamp with Amy K YouTube Live, and I am just out here on my YouTube channel checking to make sure that everything is rolling along like it should be, which looks like it is. So, okay, that is awesome. All right, if you are joining me live, I appreciate that. Feel free to say hello and let me know that you are here, and if you are watching the replay, that is just awesome as well. I appreciate it no matter when you check out the video. The card that we are going to be making today is from the In the Pines stamp set bundle. It's a birthday card, obviously. Gosh, I don't know about you guys, but my goodness, like everybody I know, I think, has a birthday in September or October. So it's kind of amazing to me how many birthday cards I need to make. A lot of my family members and team members and friends, and I mean, just tons of birthdays in September and October timeframe. Hey, Shelly and Barbara and Bree, thanks so much for joining, and happy Friday to you as well. So again, we've got a pretty simple card that I'm going to be making here today. Just like I said, just use the In the Pines stamp set bundle. And I thought this one kind of could be either a man or a woman. So I figured that, that's one of those things that's always nice to have, is one that's could be used for almost anybody. All right, so this is the card, and a couple things that I used on it is that obviously the In the Pines stamp set, which is in the new mini catalog, the August to December 2020 mini catalog. And it's a great stamp set. It's really pretty, and I love the font on the sentiments in it as well. So again, just a really pretty stamp set. And I also love, love that it's bundled with a set of dies. Always perfect to have those. And it's got some of the dies, like this one and this one, are more solid dies, and they aren't designed necessarily to cut out any of the stamped images. But there are some that do coordinate with the stamped images here in the stamp set. And then this one actually cuts out like the negative of the tree, basically. So anything that you see here, it cuts out the little spaces, but it cuts it out of the background. It's kind of hard to describe. I guess I'll have to make a card at some point with it. But hey, Teresa, thanks for joining. But it's a really great die set. And again, these are bundled together in the mini catalog for 10% off. Another thing that I know a lot of people missed on their first pass through the catalog, hopefully you all have seen it now, but it is the Evergreen Forest 3D embossing folder. Hey, Jeannie, thanks. I'm glad that it's a great bundle. So this is the 3D embossing folder. And again, it's really, really pretty. And again, one of those things that not everybody saw on the first pass through the catalog because it's kind of hidden. So it's again in the mini catalog, and it's a really great embossing folder. So if you do not have that one, you definitely need to get it. A couple of other things that I used on this. I used the sentiment, the happy birthday sentiment from the By the Dock stamp set, which is one that is in the annual catalog. And so this is another one of those great kind of, can use it for many different things type stamp sets. And then on the inside of the card, I actually used the Let's Celebrate You from the Itty Bitty Birthday stamp set, which again, this is a good general one to have. It can be used for pretty much any kind of birthday. Last thing that I used, and then we'll get started, well, almost get started, is I used one of the stitched rectangle dies to cut out the sentiment. And actually, I used this one and trimmed the edge of it off, basically, and tucked it behind the tree so you couldn't see that I chopped the edge of it with my scissors. So, all right, so I'm going to set the dies aside, and we will get rolling. It's a really good embossing folder, Jerry, so definitely one of my favorite ones. Hey, Kathy, glad you're here as well. So, one thing that I did want to let you know about, if you were around last year for World Card Making Day, our team did a fun event out on Facebook. We just kind of did Facebook Live videos and shared projects all day long on World Card Making Days, and we are planning to do that again. So just wanted you to save the date and know that we are planning to do the event again. We're getting things organized, and as it gets closer, we will get the Facebook page set up and opened up for everybody to join. But just wanted you to know to keep an eye out for it, and we're excited to have you guys join us all out on October 3rd on Saturday for World Card Making Day. Hey, Elaine, I'm glad you're here as well. And then one more thing that before we get started is just wanted to remind you about the Get and Go starter kit promotion from Stampin' Up, which it's a great deal. If you join during the month of September, you pay $99 plus taxes for your starter kit. It ships out to you for free from Stampin' Up. You get to choose $125 worth of Stampin' Up merchandise, whatever it is that you want, from the current catalogs. And then in addition to that, Stampin' Up is going to give you 16 card kits, essentially, 8 of them are Grand Apple Green, 8 of them are Coastal Cabana. You'll get the Queen Anne's Lace stamp set, the So Much Love stamp set, and a pack of rhinestones for free, just in addition to your starter kit. So you can use that however you would like. If you want to use that, start a business and use it as your first class, that's awesome. If you just want to join and just get the discount for yourself and want to have 16 pretty cards all ready to go, you can join, and then you have an awesome set of cards to go. So, all right, let me know if you have questions on that, questions about being a demonstrator, questions about anything that comes along with being a demonstrator. I would be happy to chat with you a little bit more about it if you do. Okay, let's get going on my card here. So the card base is thick whisper white and is cut to 4 1/4 by 11, and I scored it at 5 1/2. And then I went ahead and did this ahead of time. I embossed, and hopefully you can see it, with the Evergreen Forest 3D embossing folder. I embossed a piece of whisper white cardstock, and it is cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I'm just going to adhere that straight to the card front. With a little bit of the multi-purpose liquid glue, and going to make sure that I try to get it all the way out to the edges, or as close to the edges as I can without having it be a big goopy mess, and without getting it all over my fingers. Since this embossing folder does emboss pretty deeply, especially down here towards the bottom, I just want to make sure that I've got glue down towards the bottom so that it will hold the cardstock well in place. And let me see if I can get it on here straight. That's always a nice bonus as well. Some days I do better at that than others. But all right, so just going to do that. Give it a little press here. Make sure that everything is adhered down well. All right, so let's set that aside. Well, actually, we're going to be using it here really quickly. So I have a couple of pieces of Designer Series paper. This is from the Plaid Tidings Designer Series paper pack, and I think I cut it to 3/4 of an inch. I should have written it down. 3/4 of an inch by 4 1/2 inches on this one. And then this is just shaded spruce cards, or shaded spruce Designer Series paper from the Regal's Designer Series paper, the 6x6 pack of that. And that's about 1/2 inch by 4 inches. So got 2 little pieces of Designer Series paper that I'm going to adhere over the embossed with a little bit of Stampin' Seal. Hopefully you all are having a fantastic Friday. The weather here is absolutely beautiful. It's sunny. We had kind of a yucky rainy day yesterday, and today the weather is just beautiful outside. It's cooled off. The humidity, to me, doesn't feel too terrible. So hopefully we're supposed to have a nice weekend here as well, which should be good, and kind of a nice fall weekend, which I always look forward to those. It cools off a little bit. Summer is definitely not my favorite season. I much prefer fall, just because I tend to run a little warm, and I don't need any extra heat or help from the summer. All right, next thing that I've got here from Niagara Falls. Oh, it's chilly up there. Oh boy, I've actually heard that it's, yeah, up north, Minnesota, I've heard it's getting cold as well, and I think Missouri. I don't know. I was trying to remember where everybody was from, but I've seen a lot of people complaining it's like definitely fall where you guys are, but we're still shorts and t-shirt weather here. It's just definitely starting to cool off, which is nice. So this I cut from Shaded Spruce cardstock with one of the tree dies, and just going to use a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue to adhere it down. Again, don't need to use tons and tons of the glue, just a few dabs here and there. It's pretty easy to adhere this one down, and easy now that I say that, and I'll probably have a big gooey mess when I flip it over. It's cold in Ohio, or in Illinois as well. Gosh, like I said, I guess I should be quiet because the weather's been absolutely beautiful here, and I just, gosh. So we got lucky. I don't know. I've been waiting. I actually kind of expected that we would really cool off here because I know that a lot of areas are, but and I even heard snow in Colorado. And it was the first day of school for some people that I know in Colorado, and they were in the snow. The kids were walking to, out in the snow, getting ready to go to school, which is a little crazy. All right, a couple things we're going to do for stamping. Again, I used the sentiment from the By the Dock stamp set, and we're just going to stamp that in Pretty Peacock ink. It's only supposed to be chilly this week. Okay, and then, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's been really nice here, so I'm not going to complain. I don't know what the weather's supposed to do for the future. I just know that it's really nice out right now, so I'm not complaining. I'm happy to have a nice weekend where we're not going to be either boiling or freezing. So I've got shaded spruce ink here that we're going to be using for the trees, and I'm going to stamp the outline image for the trees first. Samantha's saying she's seen some snow and seen people send pictures, but yeah, I agree. I'm not ready for the snow. However, I'm not sad that it's fall. I'm there with you though. I'm not ready for the snow to be here just yet. So I'm stamping the solid image for the tree here, and then I need to stamp 2 of the little outline, and I realized I forgot to put one of the sets of trees on the block. The little tree, which let me get, I'll stamp that one here. And let me see if I can get the little one on blocks here. Hopefully I have enough blocks sitting around close by. If not, I'll flip a couple over and do the back side. Yep, forgot to put my little skinny tree. I did cut one of those out and put it on the card front as well. So just stamping the outlines of the trees first, and then we are going to stamp the fill-in images, which hopefully I can fit that one. Yep, I think that one will work on the block. So I'm inking these up again in shaded spruce, and these are the fill-in images. I'm going to stamp it on scrap paper and then come back over my lined image and hopefully get things somewhat lined up and stamp down. The one nice thing about this stamp set is it's a little artistic, and they don't line up perfectly exactly, which is kind of nice because, you know, it lines up generally, but then you don't necessarily have to worry about getting it stamped absolutely perfectly. You can just stamp it however you like it. And again, the final one you need to do here is inking up the set of 3 trees. Do a little stamp on the, and try not to drop it on your project. Do a little stamp on the scrap paper and then stamping it back over again. All right, there we go. Got all the images done. So Sue says hello from Sarasota, Florida. Yeah, hot down there, that is for sure. I just stuck my fingers right in the green ink. So see what I get for trying to multitask. So yeah, we had snow in Colorado. Gosh. Oh man, I can't even imagine snow at this time of the year. That's just, it's too cold. So, okay. A couple things. We're going to do a little bit of die cutting here. And I've got my die cutting machine set up here just to the right of me, since it wiggles the table a lot when I cut right in front of you. So I'm going to be using this die to cut out the happy birthday. And then I've got a couple of the dies here for the tree images. So I've got that die, and then I'm going to need to run it through 2 times because I have 2 of these. And then I've got the one little skinny die from the tree die set. So let me do a quick run through the die cutting machine. Feels like fall in Ohio as well. So yeah, and cold and misty in southwest Minnesota. Yeah, it's definitely kind of a weird weather week, that's for sure. But hopefully y'all are enjoying your Friday anyway. It's Friday, so I guess we can't complain too much. But just setting things up and lining it up over here on the die to run through the die cutting machine. And hopefully I'm not wiggling the table like crazy. All right, so the first set of die cuts are done here. Whoop. Pop the birthday sentiment out there, and then I've got the tree die cuts over here, and then I will run the run it through the die cutting machine one more time with this die to cut out the last little set of trees here. And both of my girls went to school this week, which was kind of a strange thing. It's been like 6 months since they've both been in school, so schools in our area are at least somewhat back in session. My younger daughter is going to school 5 days a week, thank goodness, and the older one is actually going two days a week to school, and then she's at home doing distance learning 2 days a week, which has definitely been an interesting schedule, trying to keep up with which kid is where and what time and who's supposed to be running what direction, but we're getting it done, so. All right, so the happy birthday sentiment, like I said, I'm just going to trim off the edge of it because it's a little bit longer than I want it to be. Just do a quick little snip like that. And I'm going to adhere that to the card front first. Try to get a little bit of placement to make sure that I know where I need it to be, which I think that's where we want it to be. Get a little Stampin' seal. And I see Alice is here from South Jersey. Thanks so much for joining today. Oh, you're all virtual? Yeah. Some schools are. It's totally dependent on the district. And even in our area, some of the schools, some are all virtual. Some of them are doing like we are, a hybrid schedule. And so it's, yeah, how in the world, if you had kids going to all different schools, I don't know how you'd keep track. It's bad enough here with just two. I can't even imagine trying to keep up with more than two kids. And what the teachers are trying to do too is just, ugh. I know my older daughter's, the bus driver actually, you know, she was driving her, picking her up for school, and I was like, oh, I'm the only kid on the bus, and the driver said, I don't know who's riding which days. I just drive the route, and if people are standing outside, if the kids are standing outside, I pick them up. If they're not, I don't. I'm like, that is just crazy. So. Sarah's asking, she missed the stamp set that the happy birthday was from. So the happy birthday is actually from the By the Dock stamp set, which is one that's in the annual catalog. So that's where I got that stamp set from. But the trees are all, yep, they're all from the In the Pine stamp set. So, all right, so I'm going to take this one and actually put a little liquid glue on it. And I kind of tucked it up under the sentiment. Try not, whoop, or I pulled it up completely. That's not exactly what I wanted it to do, but that's okay. That'll work for now. There we go. Let's stick this back down a little bit better. I'm using a little bit of liquid glue on this one to kind of tuck it up underneath the birthday sentiment. And make sure that that's stuck down really well this time. All right, and then I'm going to use a couple Stampin' Dimensionals to adhere the last little set of trees on. Let me set this glue out of the way before I stick my fingers in that like I did the ink. So, hello from Alabama. I'm glad that you're joining today. So, a couple Stampin' Dimensionals, and I've got a little metallic pearl, and we'll be all done with the card front. So let's go ahead and adhere this on. And I didn't really have like any special way that I was putting the trees on, just kind of wanted them to get a little bit of a layered look to it. So hopefully I accomplished that. And then I've got the gold metallic pearls. They're from the Metallic Pearls pack, and it's got gold and silver in it. And I'm using one of the gold pearls today. And that is it for the card front. So the inside of the card I kept pretty simple as well. Just have a piece of Whisper White cardstock. Let me get some of my mess cleared up and out of the way. And then I'm going to stamp the sentiment. Again, sentiment is from the Itty Bitty Birthday stamp set. And I'm going to stamp that, if I can find my ink pad, in Pretty Peacock ink towards the center of this. Thanks, Samantha. I appreciate that. Glad that you're liking the card. So, all right. So let me see. Hopefully I can get it stamped fairly straight here. I think I did it. So again, from the Itty Bitty Birthday stamp set and Pretty Peacock ink, and then I'm going to ink up and stamp the little row of trees down here again in Shaded Spruce on the lower right area of this piece of cardstock. And I think we'll go right there. And I'm going to get the little fill-in tree image, ink that in Shaded Spruce, stamp it on scrap paper, and then stamp it here over the first image. And then we will adhere it to the inside of the card base, and we'll be all done with the card for today. So as I'm doing that, I'll just remind you that I will plan to be back on my Facebook channel live next week, Tuesday, around 2 o'clock Eastern time, and then back here on YouTube live again next week, Friday, around 2 o'clock Eastern time. And if anything changes with that schedule, I'll definitely let you know, but that's what my plan is for the week, and hopefully I will see y'all out here again. So there we go. So that's it for the card in my green fingers. That's going to take me a minute to get that out from under my fingernails. So thanks so much, Kathy. Yeah, it is a great set for masculine cards. So hope that you enjoyed seeing the cards today. Let me know if you have any questions on anything. I will be posting all the details out on my blog, which is stampwithamyk.com, and I'll post everything out there tomorrow. So all the cardstock cuts and which papers I used and all that, ink colors and all that will be posted tomorrow, and I will share the link in the comment section of this video once I get the blog post up. So thanks again for joining today, and hope that you have a fantastic rest of your week. And let's see, Samantha's asking me my schedule. I go live on Facebook. You can find me on Facebook at Stamp with Amy K, and I am live at around 2 o'clock Eastern Time on Tuesdays. And I will plan to be live back here again on my YouTube channel around 2 o'clock Eastern Time on Fridays. So let me know if you have any other questions. I look forward to seeing y'all again soon. And thanks for joining today.